Welcome everybody to tonight's home clinic. A home clinic is where we grab one quality coach and he presents on one specific subject for you guys to enjoy, and he usually does that from home. If you guys have been enjoying this series and would like to see it continue, we want to ask that you would like and subscribe below. Those things certainly help us to grow and is kind of that feedback to say this is a good thing. Keep this coming. If you have a desire to present in the future, reach out to us on Twitter, DM us. That's at the Chief Pigskin. All right, without further ado, tonight's home clinic.
Hey, what's up, Chief Pigskin? It's Coach Blair again. I'm with Coach Sean Fitzgerald from Lake Norman High School in North Carolina. He's going to talk about the game day process at Lake Norman High School. So, Coach Fitzgerald, you go ahead, share your screen, and take it away.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks so much to Chief Pigskin, and thanks so much to Coach Blair here for contacting me and allowing me to share a little bit today. Like Coach Blair said, we're talking a little bit about our game day process as far as what it looks like in the strength and conditioning world. We are a 4A high school in Mooresville, North Carolina. We operate on a block schedule, and we have a good majority of our kids in class, so that definitely helps us out. Just to talk a little bit about some of my influences. I played football at Marsville College in close to Asheville, North Carolina. So I'd say one of my biggest influences is the head strength coach and defensive line coach there, Chuck Pfeiffer. Also, the one of the first head football coaches that gave me a shot, gave me a job, Nick Basil. He's currently at North Lincoln High School. I worked for him at Newton Conover High School. He kind of introduced me to the whole high school aspect of weights and how that looked. Next one is Matt Beam. Matt Beam is a former head football coach at Newton Conover High School, Burns, North Lincoln as well. Great man. Definitely ramped up his high school weight training for me and really kind of showed me the ins and outs of it. And then Kyle Graves. And so Kyle Graves was at Lake Norman High School. He was a former player of our head football coach there. And he's the current head strength coach at Framingham State, which is a D3 school up north. And he just kind of introduced the thought process behind the need for flexibility, strength, not just strength and conditioning and, hey, bigger, faster, stronger, but also some injury prevention. And so you'll see that reflected in the presentation. So to talk about our weight room identity, we are an active rest circuit training program model. Basically, the way that works is everything's on the whistle. Things are grouped and supersetted, if you will. And so what happens is their spotting time and there may be a layoff in an open group. So if we have 3 exercises and 4 people in the group, that's where you get your rest. So you are kind of active within your rest time. Each group, again, is on the whistle. We are pretty old school in the sense that we bench, squat, and clean. We've got a couple different programs for bench, squat, and clean, but that's what we do. We back squat, we bench, and we power clean, hang clean. We do a lot of different things with that clean motion. We are Western periodization, which is, just from looking at high reps, low weight, moving up into the higher weight with the lower reps. And we work off an 8-week max cycle. So what does station work look like for us? What you're looking at in the picture here is you're looking at one of our racks. We have 8 of these racks. Each of them include a bench in them, and we do all of our exercises right here. We usually power clean right here in front of this rack. But what we've got when we program is we've got a core exercise. So in this instance, when we talk about a core exercise, we have bench, squat, or clean. And so we've got back squat here. We've got an auxiliary working here. we've got an auxiliary working here, and we've got an active rest spotting working here. So when we talk about station work, we talk about active rest. This is what it looks like for us. And we've got a video here for you just so that you can kind of get an idea of how that works. So everybody's moving. One whistle sends everybody into motion. You know, and you've got, everybody knows what they're supposed to do. They've got separate reps associated with it. Guys, but this has been really, really good to us. And again, it starts out with a lot of reps here. I mean, I want to say there's 55 reps somewhere, something in there of that. I mean, that's pretty extensive, but it is lower weight. And so then we work our way into some lower reps with some higher weight. So a typical game day for us, we do have something called athletic weight training. That's where 90% of our varsity football players are. They have that class. During that time, we do a flexibility circuit and recovery breathing. And so the flexibility circuit, I said, again, you know, kind of came from Coach Graves, who's at Framingham State now. And the recovery breathing is something that I took from Mark Hoover, who's at York High School down in South Carolina. And, you know, I'm sure took it from someone else. But, you know, Coach Hoover does a lot of great things down there. And basically what it is it's just an opportunity for us, for our kids to cut off the world. And so what we do is we take about 10 minutes at the end of class after our flexibility circuit is done. We don't allow any sort of phones. We don't allow earbuds. We don't allow anything. So lights go out. Kids are laying in a position that that helps with circulation, and they cut everything off. I play some white noise music in the background just so they have a little bit of something, but legitimately, you know, in today's world with technology and everything at everybody's fingertips, this is a great opportunity for our kids to just cut everything off. They don't have to focus on football. They don't have to focus on anything. They just cut it off. And so that's been really good to us. We have a period called Smart Lunch, and this is about 50 minutes long. So anyone in our school, everyone goes to lunch and they have the opportunity to go get tutoring, opportunity to go do pretty much whatever they want. And there are some structured pieces to that. So the 10% of our kids that do not have weight training come in and do their flexibility circuit. They don't have the opportunity to get that recovery breathing in, you know, which is unfortunate. But again, we are talking about a very small percentage of our school, our football team. And we feel like that flexibility circuit is super, super important from an injury prevention standpoint. This is where the fun part comes. After school, we have about a 40-minute, every varsity and 8-quarter kid in our program does a pregame lift in the weight room. You know, it's something that we were very, very passionate about as a staff and super, super important to us. The years before, we had kids who just did not want to do it, didn't want to get in the weight room. We're completely okay with not lifting. They wanted to take Thursday and Friday off so that they had fresh legs or whatever the case may be. And so we wanted to change our mindset. We wanted to change our thought process and really, really, you know, do something that would say, hey, you know, we're going to be ready to play football here in a couple hours. And we'll talk a little bit more. It's not a strenuous lift. We're not talking 80%, anything like that. No maxing out anything. It's just a really good lift to kind of get your blood flowing. So the first thing that I want to talk about here is our flexibility circuit. We've got 2 different flexibility circuits that we work through. We've got 4 stations. They work through it 60 seconds apiece, and we give them a switch call about halfway through, depending on if they have to switch legs. So these first 4, we've got bench pigeons, rack hamstring, rack lat stretch, and back roller. One of the things that I love it. We went and spent some money on some foam rollers. Our kids love them. They ask for them. One of the things that I think it's cut down on is just general soreness of lower back, just and back as a whole, legs. That comes from lifting on a regular basis. It's kind of cut down on some of that. And our kids, again, will ask for it. Just, hey, coach, I'm a little stiff. I'd really like to grab a roller. And, we're like, go ahead. Absolutely. We've got a couple images that go along with this so that we can kind of see this. This is the bench pigeon. So it is working that kind of that hip flexor, working that glute stretch right there. It's really, really good. Our kids' hip flexibility has gotten 10 times better because of this guy right here. This is our rack lat stretch. So he's stretching his lat there. He's got his hand turned opposite because it just kind of gives him a little extra. You've got a rack hamstring. And again, you see one of our kids down here rolling his back out. Again, this is just kind of a close-up, different perspective of it. And that's it on the first round of flexibility circuits. The second round of flexibility circuits that we run, again, 4 stations, 60 seconds apiece. We give the opportunity to switch halfway through. We've got a bench quad hip flexor. And we'll show pictures to go along with the explanations there. We've got a calf stretch. We've got a rack or wall chest, and we roll our legs out. And one thing that I will tell you about rolling your legs out as it pertains to those IT bands on the outside of your legs there, you've got to do a good job coaching your kids up on that one. If they put all their weight on their IT band on the outside of their leg on that foam roller, it could really do some damage. So it's super, super important that they don't put all their weight when they're rolling out those IT bands. So again, you see everybody's at their rack. Again, it's the same model as our active rest station work thought process here. You've got the bench quad hip flexor here, where he's just got the top of his foot here on top of the bench. So he's kind of rocking forward a little bit, rocking his hips forward a little bit to pull on that hip flexor there. And it also kind of pulls on that quad depending on how far forward he goes. We've got a rack chest right here. So he's stretching that front deltoid. He's also stretching his pec muscle here. We've got calves going here. And again, we're rolling legs out here at the bottom. This is what, again, just kind of a different perspective. You can kind of see the side of it here, opposite side here. Right now he's rolling his hamstrings, but again, there's IT bands on the sides there. Please, please, please make sure that you're coaching your kids up to take a little bit of weight off of that. And then again, that rack chest deltoid. All right, recovery breathing. We talked about this before. Again, the idea originated from Eric Cash. Mark Hoover, who is Eric Cash, is one national strength coach for the National High School Strength Coaches Association. Mark Hoover's another fantastic one down in York, South Carolina. Again, we do this about 15 minutes after the end of class, after our flexibility circuit. Great way for everybody to cut everything off. No phones, no earbuds, white noise playing in the background. All right, so pre-game lift philosophy. Again, when we started researching this, there's a lot of data out there, a lot of research, a lot of people who say you should do it, a lot of people that say you shouldn't do it. Again, Mark Hoover posted an article in the Simply Fast, and it was really, really good. It talked about program need versus brain candy. And so When he talks about program needs is depending on how often you see your kids, you could use that pregame lift to fulfill the needs of your program. So if you're an ARP, anyways, if you see your kids 3 days a week and you get an upper body, a lower body, and a full, then you could use that as your full body lift in order to fulfill the needs of your program. Whereas the brain candy is like our kids, we see our kids 4 days a week. And so really what we're trying to do is we're trying to get their blood flowing. We're trying to get their circulation going. You know, who knows, they could have been sitting in class for, 8 hours, had no PE throughout. And it's tough. It's tough to sit in class and to hang out and maybe be thinking about the psychology project coming up, anything like that, and then get ready to go play a football game. And so what we decided to do is that's how we decided to use it. So our program needs are fulfilled in our Monday through Friday stuff. We get two uppers, 2 lowers, and then we get a flexibility circuit on Friday. So we don't necessarily need this lift as far as program needs. So once we decided that's what we were going to do, we decided that it was going to be lightweight. We place a lot of emphasis on full range motions, full range movements, and a lot of emphasis on pace. We want to go as fast as we possibly can. We get a full body lift done in about 30 minutes. And it's fast. There is no talking in the lift. Kids are not, wasting a lot of time here, there, and everywhere. They know where they're supposed to go. They're ready to go. Our leadership has done a really, really good job making sure that this lift happens and it's done well. So our pregame lift DNA, the way we structure our pregame lift is we have a push, a pull, and a rotational ab. And so we split the class half and half, split the kids half and half, and we've got that push-pull rotational abs on one half of the room. So for instance, those kids could be in the racks. And so that could be, again, any kind of bench, close grip bench, dumbbell incline, anything like that. Pulls, so rows, eyes wide and T's, stuff like that. And then a rotational ab like a Russian twist. And so those are the 3 lifts. They go do that. There is no active rest built in within it. We'd like to have 3 kids in a group with those 3 lifts. Then we come down and we've got a squat, a hinge, and a linear ab. And so together, again, it makes that full body lift in there. And so they're separate. They go all the way through it. Once they get done with their sets, they rotate. And so the kids who just got done doing their squat, hinge, and linear ab will then go over and do their push, pull, and rotational ab. So I've got a couple videos right here. Again, they're quick videos, but it gives you a really good indication of just the pace that's involved, in it, and tell you what, we'll start that over again just so that we can kind of see, again, the pace that goes with it. You've got dumbbell incline, you've got some upright rows, you've got some single leg RDLs going in there. I'll play it one more time. There is no one standing still in this weight room. Every single person is performing a lift. Every single person is moving. So again, that's it. Again, I'd love some questions. Any thought process to, how you could put together a pregame lift, why we pregame lift, any of the research that I've done, I'd be glad to share with anybody. Again, here's my contact information. I'd love to have anybody reach out. I'd love to talk shop. If you do pregame lifting, you do a flexibility circuit, and you want to share your information, I'd love to. other than that, again, I appreciate Chief Pigskin and Coach Blair giving me the opportunity to share on this fantastic platform.